So I'm back. I've just been for a run. And while I was on that run, I came up with some very good ideas for next season. I'm not going to let you know what they are, but over the course of the summer, I'm going to be completely redesigning my channel. And I've got some cracking ideas for some new shows for next season. And I'll be spending a summer sorting out all the templates and everything to have it looking tip top when we come back once the new game opens up. So that'd be interesting anyway. But this is the last time I'll be on this season before the deadline, unless I do a walking video later, which I probably shall be doing. Anyway, we're going to look now at what to do with the team and options that you possibly should consider as well, because we're getting very close now. And this week in particular is going to be dominated by late team news. And I think it's important to know in advance what you plan to do if something unexpected does occur. Because we saw last week with Marmouche, everyone found out in the last 10 minutes that he wasn't going to play. And nobody had planned for it or thought about what they might do in that circumstance. So a lot of people rushed and made really stupid decisions, didn't they? So I think it's important to know what you're going to do. For me, in particular, in the case of Isak, what I shall do if I hear he A is starting, B isn't starting, and C no news. So we don't know. I need to know what to do in each of those scenarios. So first thing we're going to look at to sort out this team here is have a look at the clean sheet odds and the goal scoring odds to decide on our captain and benching order, because it's pretty tricky this week. I know Saliba's already out, isn't he? So we'll go and have a look. Here's the goal scoring odds. Now Haaland is top for goal scoring odds this week, which is quite a bit of a surprise, I think, really. I mean, betting odds are a bit like FPL managers in a way. I mean, we're kind of wedded to the past, aren't we? We know that Haaland is a prolific goal scorer overall, so we tend to favour him, even though, the facts, the actual form that he's in possibly doesn't justify him being top of this list. But, these are bookies' odds, and people that bet are obviously subject to the same biases that we are. But so you can't say that these are going to be 100% accurate, but they're probably not far off. But it's got Haaland, Salah, then Isak. See, Isak's very high here, very high. So if he is starting, then he's obviously a very good choice. I mean, people are talking about taking him out for Evan Nielsen, and that for some reason, Evan Nielsen doesn't even make this list. Why isn't he on the list, peeps? Why is he not on the list? Even Semenyo's on the list, so why isn't Evan Nielsen? Odd, odd. I mean, surely he's got a higher chance of scoring than Semenyo. So why isn't he on here? Peculiar, isn't it? Peculiar. Even Nweri, look, isn't much different from Saka. You see that? So this is depending on the starter course. But there's not actually a lot of difference. I wonder how accurate these are, I mean, we all follow them, don't we, every single week? People like hang on their every word religiously of these things and the stuff Rob puts out. But how accurate is any of it? Has anyone actually checked how accurate any of this stuff actually is? Because there's a lot on them I tend not to agree with most weeks. Palmer's very high as well, isn't he? Considering what a tough game they've got, and he's only scored like one goal in 14 matches. So I take it all with a pinch of salt, peeps, and I generally go by my own feel. And my feel here is that Salah will be my captain this week. he certainly will be my captain. Isak will also keep if I know he's going to start. If he isn't, it will be Evan Nielsen that I bring in, who, like I said, for some strange reason, doesn't appear to be on this list. I wonder if other people have commented on that. Let's have a look. People saying no Viscera Buemo. Again, it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird old list. A weird old list. Strange. Other people saying why isn't Evan Nielsen on it? In fact, people are questioning this whole table. Wood's not on it. Table's garbage, peeps, basically. Garbage table. So we're not going to pay too much attention to it. So let's go down and find for clean sheet odds. Now, hopefully, no better than the goal scoring odds. Same outfit, peeps. So we can't trust the goal scoring odds. So can we trust the at least all the teams are on this, rather than not all the players being on the other one. So Arsenal top, Bournemouth, Newcastle, all the same. So Kirkes, I'd say Kirkes would be above Arsenal defenders because he's more attacking and they have the same chance of a clean sheet. Same possibly with Newcastle defenders. Now West Ham are significantly lower. So we go back to my team and it looks clear that I should start Livramento over Wan-Bissaka. Now Saliba's injured. He's pretty much out, I think now. He's out. So Kirill in for Saliba, which seems to make more sense. So that's my defence sorted. Martinez, obviously a lot bigger. What the hell's that? Now, obviously, obviously Villa, a lot higher chance of clean sheet than Palace. Palace are actually bottom, which gives me added confidence to captain Salah. Even more so than Southampton. Southampton are more likely to keep a clean sheet, according to this, than Palace are. So definitely captaining in Salah this week. So that's that sorted. Capitano, there we go. Vice Capitano on, who shall I put it on? Bowen or Watkins? Or Buemo? Leave it on Buemo, I think. Realistically, it would be very, very surprising if Salah did not play. Now, in terms of transfers, if Isak's fit and is starting, which looks now less likely as each day passes, then if he is, I will replace Kirill with either White or Kirkes. Now, if I was chasing, I would definitely go Kirkes. But as I'm more worried about not being in the top 50k at the moment, I would probably go with White, who is very, very lightly owned anyway, and any attacking returns from him would actually be a fantastic opportunity to get in the top 20k. So if I've got nothing else to do, that is what I will be doing. I will be replacing Kirill with Ben White. But if Isak isn't playing, then I will be doing Isak to Evan Nielsen, who seems by far the most logical choice this week. A lot of people are going Havertz. He only played about 10-15 minutes the other day. Hasn't played any football for months and months. So to go from playing 10 or 15 minutes to playing a whole game is a stretch. And even if he does, we've got no guarantee he's in form I mean, people bought Saka in as soon as he came back from injury, but he wasn't the same Saka he was before the injury. As for Saka, if I did bring him in, I wouldn't captain him. It would be for a hit, which would be a complete waste. So it's completely forgetting all about Saka, basically. He's obviously, you know, he's another Palmer at the moment, isn't he? Another Palmer and De Bruyne. Both expensive, both look good. None of them actually get any points. So, not too bothered about him. Quite happy with his team. And basically, that's the defence. I think I can say that is the best defence. I mean, obviously, Wan-Bissaka on my bench will get a lot of points. But if I start him, conversely, he'll only get 1 point. So he has to stay on the bench. And Sarr as well on the bench. No reason why any of these front seven, apart from Isak possibly, will not play. I don't really want Sarr off my bench. So in fact, Wan-Bissaka probably deserves to be first sub, I think, rather than Sarr. So I'll save that and call it 38. There we go. So that is now my team. I will be up for deadline, unfortunately. I don't really have a choice thanks to the way they leave the deadline so late, so it's subject to leaks, so I will have to be up. And likely transfer, like I said, Isak to Evan Nielsen. If Isak starts, then it's Kirill to Ben White. And that's about it, peeps. We'll have another look at things going on Reddit before I go. What have we got here? Fantasy. Here's the scouts team. Okay, so they've got Rare in goal. And on Let's Have a Beer yesterday, myself and Nightmare were arguing with Gary about whether to start Saliba or Martinez. We thought Martinez was better, simply because Villa have a lot more to play for. And Nightmare actually thinks that if they're not winning, he's going to be coming up for corners. So and get a goal. Very unlikely. But there's not a lot, I think, between Raya and Martinez, especially as Martinez is likely to get more save points and is possibly more likely to get bonus points. Whereas Raya is probably like a maximum 6 points, isn't it? It's very unlikely Southampton are going to have 3 shots on target to get him a save point, but you never know. So Guardiol, Kirkes and Byrne. Obviously a very good defence this week. You know, Byrne's possibly better than Livramento in the fact that Everton could concede from headed goals. You know, Everton have got two of their key defenders out, which is another reason I'm playing Livramento and another reason why I want Isak. I mean, look, the scout have got Isak as captain. Isak as captain this week. Wow. Watkins as vice captain. Evan Nielsen. Salah, Saka, Bowen, Mitoma. Yeah, this is kind of a perfect team, I think, for this week. I can't argue with any of these. None of them at all. I mean, who's being left out? I guess Rodgers, who could do well. But you'd have to say Mitoma against Tottenham. Don't know what sort of Tottenham we're going to get, do we? Now they've won, you know, they might be full of confidence. It might be. We saw that with Palace, didn't we? Scored 4 goals against Wolves after our FA Cup win. So we don't know that Tottenham are going to be absolutely useless. So, yeah, pretty much a perfect team now. I'd be surprised if this team doesn't do really well, but scout teams often don't do very well because what we expect to happen is often far from what actually does happen. Isaac's been named in the Swedish squad. I think that's neither here nor there, to be honest. I don't even recognise most of these names. Anyway, Since Marco Silva took charge, City have been undefeated versus Fulham, scoring 20 goals in 9 games. That's about what you'd expect, though, wouldn't it? Just over two goals a game. There's nothing really out of the ordinary in that. There's another sheet here, I think, with the focal put up here. Yeah. Saliba's definitely out. Shall I go right up to the Isaac's a doubt? According to the Daily Mail, anyway. But do we worry too much what the Daily Mail has to say? It's changed a little bit, hasn't it? The scout team. It had Welbeck in it before. Interesting differential, actually, isn't he, Welbeck? I don't know if João Pedro. Oh, João Pedro got in a fight, didn't he, with one of his teammates? That's right. So it's quite possible he's still in the bad books, which means actually Welbeck is actually an interesting alternative to Evan Nielsen, isn't he? I haven't heard anyone mention Welbeck on the on YouTube. He's an interesting option, isn't he? I don't think he's in the kind of form he was earlier on in the season, but we shall see. Tottenham defenders will be pretty tired, I think. They put in an amazing shift, didn't they, the other day? Here's Rob Tees, Thingamy Jigamy. Right, so he's got Liverpool top as well for expected goals. So everything's pointing to Salah for me, for captain. Everything's pointing to Salah. I mean, he hasn't really let us down, has he? I mean, I haven't been captaining him for the last 5 or 6 weeks when he's done poorly. So he hasn't really hurt me by captaining him then. But earlier in the season, he was fantastic as a captain. So I see no real reason why not to go there again. I'm not sure I trust Bowen at Ipswich. I mean, he's been scoring every game, but it can't go on forever, can it? Arsenal, I don't think you can trust anybody because of the minutes, quite frankly. At least Isak, you know if he starts, they need to win that match, don't they? Brighton quite high. Brighton the same as City for expected goals. Yeah, pretty straightforward week actually for me. Pretty straightforward. I've got nothing to really get stressed over. Do you know what I mean? Because if I took out, say, Rodgers for Mitoma, which would be an option, if I did that and Rodgers got more points, I'd be kicking myself. Do you know what I mean? I'd be kicking myself all summer. Whereas this team at the moment, there's nothing to really kick myself about. Why is Wan-Bissaka in red? I do not know, peeps. I do not know. But yeah, I mean, if Wan-Bissaka gets points, then I don't really mind because I know that I've made the right decision in terms of expected outcomes. My midfield, my strikers, everything. So what will be basically, and I will have no regrets. Whereas if I do something stupid or something rash, like taking a hit to get Saka in or something like that, and it backfires, and I'm just kicking myself for weeks. I don't want to do anything that's going to make me want to hate myself at the end of the game week. Do you know what I mean? Play it nice and simple, nice and simple. Because FPL basically is a simple game, isn't it? And people tend to overthink it sometimes. Fine assets, peeps, fine assets. So fingers crossed, can make it into the top 50k or stay in the top 50k. I think the only person that could ruin it for me could be Saka. If he unexpectedly gets a brace or 3 goals or something, it could be costly. But as the week goes on, I see less and less people inclined to captain him. Although, of course, what's going to happen is that we'll get the team leaks half an hour before the deadline. Saka will be playing, and suddenly the FPL community will get a big attack of FOMO, won't they? They'll all get scared, and they will rush en masse to captain Saka just because they know he's starting. Well, if you look at it in the cold light of day, even if he does start, I don't think he's the best captain. I think Salah is better than him as a captain, possibly even Bowen, Watkins even, or Isak if he plays. But what will happen is everyone will get FOMO and switch to Saka in that last 15-20 minutes, like they did with Watkins last week. Although you can argue Watkins was actually the best option anyway last week. But I don't think that's the case with Saka. Anyway, peeps, I'm off now, and I shall be going to find out why Wan-Bissaka is in red. Is it just because I'm... Why is he... Oh, it's just because I don't know. Because I was moving him, I guess. That's the only reason. So there's nothing wrong with Wan-Bissaka. So that is it. So I might well be doing a walking video, looking for clues. We'll go out and try and find some clues about players for this week. Not necessarily ones that I want to get, but just have a bit of fun out on a walk. Anyway, cheers for now then, peeps. And I'll see you at the other end of the game week if I do not do a walking video, because this will probably be my last one. Although with the games not being till Monday morning, I might have time to fit another one in should something change. If it doesn't, I'll just be doing exactly what I've outlined in this video, because there's nothing really close. There's no 50-50s this week. No 50-50s, thank goodness, because I hate them. Anyway, peeps, I'll talk to you all later. So like and subscribe, and cheers for now then, peeps.